Okay, let me see. We are working on that new thing. And now that the basic premise is working, I'll probably switch to Linux in a few minutes, because it'll be way faster to work on. Okay, cool. And then I do that. Okay, seems to work. Okay, then we have create. Okay, cool. That works. Hey, defined, how you doing? Defined. What do I do for employment income? Yeah, I have my courses. That reminds me, I gotta get better at self-promotion. Everybody does. All you programmers. It's okay to try to make money. Everybody else is, so you might as well. And I'll get the link to the code too. Okay, great. Okay. Make sure all that's committed. And it's probably easier just to go. Is it? Is it though? Yeah, let me check something real quick. All right, let's go to Linux. Just use the codes. Anyways, all right. It's a weird Windows thing. All your files always have like bizarre permissions. Alright. And I'll shrink that down. Okay, so on Linux, it has that weird... Yeah, that. Okay, we need to make ignore list, a few other configs, and make the build command. Yeah, okay. So let's do, okay. Get rid of all of these. Okay, cool. Okay, so now we just need like options like ignore, how to run the build, so on and so forth. Thanks for telling me. That's classic. Let's make sure. Thanks. Okay, cool. All right, so that's the basis of it. Now, okay, first we need to probably a list of regex to ignore. Rename this. Let me see. Oh yeah, actually I did that test wrong. Let me just see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's more like it. Okay, cool. So let's get rid of one of these. Alright, let me see what we've got to do for this. Let me see. First we need to make sure that when there's a new, let's see, what's the event? Yeah, new event. We need to add a new thing. So that will track. Yeah. Okay, and then we need a way to match it. Yeah, so that'll only add new directories. That's something that doesn't get picked up by the watching library. And, you know, I think I'm not into the music. Let's see. Should we go back to Deep House? I don't know why I like it. It's definitely not something I normally listen to. But I think this is a little too fantasy, too floaty. All right, Deep House, no lyrics. It is, right? I don't know why it's so good. Let's see. Hope, how you doing? Hi, Zed. Have you been using Zed for like your entire software development career? No. Actually, I used Emacs for a real long time. I think Emacs was probably the first like programmer's editor I used. So I remember you could get Emacs on a lot of stuff, but Vim didn't really exist yet. Like Emacs has been around a real long time. But then my problem with Emacs, although I kind of want to try it. I want to try Doom Emacs actually. But my problem with Emacs was that you have to hold down too many keys to do stuff. It's like in Vim, if I want to go to the top of the file, GG. Well, bottom of the file, G, right? Emacs was like Control Alt Meta T tab. It's like a whole bunch of keys just to like do simple stuff. On the plus side, Emacs does a lot. So like you can watch Twitch chat and watch a movie and code and chat on IRC and answer your email and do your taxes, and it's like everything on Emacs. Okay, cool. Who had it? I bet it was SS God. Okay, yeah, let me go here. Okay, come here, let me see. Yeah, so I need to kind of copy some of this over. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because a lot of this is just stuff that I did in other projects already. Yeah, let's get these kind of sorted out. Yeah, all right. Now, I wonder if I should do the opposite of this. Do I also have include path? Yeah, I kind of don't need any of this. Okay. I think instead of include, it should only include what you're going to look for. Because remember, what this thing does is it watches you code. and like it watches your saves. So every time you save a file, it runs your build, but you don't want it to run the build all the time. So instead of excluding stuff, it really should only do includes. Let me see. You know, actually, I think I had... What was the other project? Was it Ozai? No, it wasn't Ozai. Okay, well, we can base it on this. Okay. So we need to go to config. Okay, so processes, I'm not sure. But let's add. Oh, that's right, I'm on Linux. I gotta fix this. Okay. Vim. Set tab to 2 spaces. I am definitely doing this. Yeah, so there must be some bullshit Go thing that's forcing it, so fuck you. We're gonna just not do that. That's gonna be shift width 2. Span tab. That should be all I have to do. Alright. Hopefully that fixes it. By the way, how's everyone's Christmas? I didn't do very much. I went and had Chinese buffet. Okay, let's see if that fixes my bullshit. Yay! Z does a thing. Okay, so we need I'm thinking it's going to be that includes as an array. And then it will only trigger on those. I might need to optimize that a bit more. You know, it could be you give it the directories and the path extensions. That might be the better way. So this will watch only certain directories, and this will do it. But I sort of wonder. sort of wonder how much I need to worry about that. On really large code bases, you might have to say it's only this directory. Yeah, I think that's what I gotta do. I gotta make it so you say, only watch this directory. That's where the source code is. But I could also see I'm happy the Hungarian sponge cake recipe I tried turned out well. Nice, nice. Hope of Nation. Said, to be honest, what are you trying to build? You have no clue? Yeah, it's weird, right? I can show you real quick. I might have it. The old one, I had one in C++. It's a pretty simple concept. Yeah, okay. Let's see if it's built. I haven't touched it in a while. It's actually the first game I made. This year I decided I'm going to make games. So I made this game. And I have a very specific reason why I want to redo it in Go. Because Go can do this a lot better. That's the first thing. And there's something I want to do with it. It's kind of a funny project, but it does have sort of a serious point to it. Alright, just gotta wait for the C++. Let's see, the bot. How's it? Hope you had a good Christmas? Yeah, it was relaxed. I just mostly, I ate Chinese food at a buffet, and then came home and just kind of, watched Die Hard, Christmas Eve. Because it's a Christmas movie. You can just get out of chat if you think it's not a Christmas movie. And then, yeah, there it is. And then, and then just went and, watched movies, worked. Okay, so this is the program. Okay, what it does, right, is, this is me. You have a certain amount of HP. Okay, you can set a goal. You have like 1 hour, whatever time you want. And this is just a little fun build indicator. It tells you when your project's building. So then, if I go to, let's say this one. Let's go over here. All right, so now if I come in here and I save, it'll run the build. So every time you save, it builds, and then it looks at the output of the build. If you have any errors, then you lose hit points, you take damage. It looks like the regex is a little off, but so this says I'm okay. Now if I throw in an error, this will probably be a lot of errors. So now the build indicator is red, and you see how the HP bar went down? So your goal is to try to make sure everything is going to compile before you save. And then when you save, it'll run your build and tell you if it worked or not. So that's good. And then what I do is, this part is manual, right? But I might actually add it into the command, into the tool. So then, as it goes down, if you run out of HP, then game over. So what you have to do is, you come over here, and you don't close it, just kind of start over, and then you go git checkout dot. So if you do that, basically as you're working, right? If you make too many errors, then you throw out what you're working on. Not the whole project. Everyone's really confused about that because I think they don't understand how git checkout works. But then you start over. So now it's kind of insane, right? But I was just doing it just for fun to kind of like, oh, hey, I know programming. I'm going to make a game about programming. it turns out to make your code extremely good. Because there is sort of a lot of research. Well, I wouldn't say a lot. It's just like the only research that says the more mistakes you made, like the more compile errors you have while working on something, the higher probability that it's junk. So you don't have a whole lot of the big indicators that code is bad is a combination of the number of errors you made, compilation errors you made while you're working, combined with the size of the commit. So if you have a giant pull request, that's going to have more possible bugs in it than if you have a small one. And then if you make a ton of errors while you're working on it, then that's also going to be an indicator that's really high. And so what I found by doing that is I got this tool that's kind of like playing a little game. It sort of makes the programming online, like programming for you guys, is a little more exciting too, because like it has sounds and stuff like that. And so then I have to finish the task before I run out of HP. And if I don't get it, then I got to get rid of it. And what happened is I would do it like 2 or 3 or 4 times, but the 4th time I would do it, it would go in really clean. I would be forced to simplify because I can't make it too large or I'll make too many mistakes. And it would just be a lot better solution by the 4th time I did it. Yeah. Okay, so now the reason it's better in Go is because Go is just a lot better at like running other processes, watching files, regexing output. That's kind of what it does. It's just like, it is basically a scripting language, right? And C++ it's real rough. Like it's hard to do that stuff. Like just to get the ability to like look in a Git repository, took me like forever to get libgit2 to work. So switching to Go, and then Go is way more portable. So I can make a little binary that people can download and they can play the game and it will work everywhere. And the C++, like, well, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, right? Hey, Billy. So that's what we're working on. Is it because of how light Go is? Yeah, no. I think I just explained. Yeah, the reason for Go is that if you do it in C++, it's a lot harder. Like, I think when we're done with Go, the first version of this will be, I don't know, maybe like 500 lines of code. And the C++ it's a lot. It's a lot of crap. And I think the file watching doesn't really work on OS 10. Somewhere it doesn't really work too well, right? There's all sorts of problems. So that's what we're doing. Kind of weird, but trust me, there's another reason I'm going to do it. I got an idea. Okay. Oh, this is C++. I was confused for a second. Yeah. See, like this, here's an example. This is the bullshit I got to do just to parse the JSON file and be able to work with it. And then in Go, it's I do that. And then I do that. It's like so much easier. It's ridiculously simple. Okay, so let's do, I don't know what to call this. Let's just call it include. It'll be random regex, and then we'll sort out how you can narrow it down. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to do include. Okay. And that's good enough. Okay. And then I need to do, instead of excluded path, yeah, okay. No, yeah, I do think I also need And then we match on that. I guess let's change this. Yeah, let's say there's going to be, we'll start with just a simple source directory. I do think you're definitely going to need that. And this changes to and. So it's source and it's included. In that case, I could probably Oh, I'm gonna be dropping those all over. Okay, we regex on included or includes. What did I decide? Config settings. This is definitely gonna need to be more than one directory. Yeah, okay. Service error. Is the C++ version more flexible? Less. I would say way less flexible. It's just not very good at, like, you know, starting a process and then, because it's not really a part of C++, you know, like it kind of is. You can do, you all can look at the code, like, here, I'll get it for you. If you doubt my assessment, here, take a look. It's just not the thing C++ is like good at. Go is extremely good at running stuff and checking stuff and staying running. Like, it's just really good at it. And then, like, C++ is better at, like, games and stuff. So if it was a more complex game, then that would definitely be. Oh yeah, that's right. This is over on. Over here now. Okay, here we go. Yeah, check it out. Let's see, C++ was why I struggled with Python, because of how simple it was. Oh, I'm surprised by that, because Python's object-oriented programming, I think, trips everybody up, because it's very similar to oh, I should have the to C++'s. It's kind of the bad version of object-oriented programming. There's sort of like two styles. There's like Smalltalk style and C++ style. And Smalltalks is what you get from like Ruby, Objective-C, those languages where you got message passing. That's like way better. That's a lot easier for people to understand. And then C++ kind of like, and a few other languages, Simula and whatnot, they kind of came up with one that's based on classes and types. And that one's the one that's real hard to understand. And also feels weird. It doesn't really fit, you know? But anyways, yeah, look through this, because, like, yeah, there's just a lot. You have to get the love. Oh, yeah, I have to have all of the game stuff. So, like, all the textures. Oh, yeah, I need the EFSW thing. Also, this build is older. This is, like, the first game I made. So, like, the build is kind of weird. Everything's strange. Yeah, I need a backend. Here's the code to build stuff. So all of this just is just to sort of like run the build. Yeah, I have to use like a whole state machine thing to keep it straight. And then I have, oh yeah, then I also have the back end. Yeah, it's a whole thing, man. It's really complex. Yeah, anyways. Also, I might try Fine. We'll see. We're either going to do Fine, so I can see like what's it like to make a little desktop app with this, or Ep02, just keep it in the game area, or just do like a simple TUI, right? Just like a terminal-based UI. Could possibly do both, really. TUIs are, I wouldn't say they're easier to make, but I think they're probably a little bit easier for people to run. Yeah, maybe we do a TUI first. Okay, cool. All right, so now I have includes sources. And then let's do, let's add that now. Includes. And I don't really like those as the name. Let's say it's going to be asterisk.go. And for sources, let's just do dot. But I don't think you need that, really. No, you don't need this. What am I doing? I only need the regex. Yeah, we're going to keep it simple. Just start off real simple. Yeah. That's better. Yep. Just do that. Okay, cool. All right. Right, convert to that, match it, return whether it's included. Got it. And we're definitely going to have to add a few more conditions to this. Like you probably also have to have like some includes, that kind of thing. Okay. And then config settings again. Let's get rid of sources. Okay, let's build. Yeah, we need the slices. Watch. Yeah, this game is kind of like my kryptonite. I'm constantly spelling shit wrong. Okay, so now it should only change when I change Go stuff. Okay, so it should. Oh, actually, I didn't. Let's change this to just do that. Oh, I know what we should do. Yeah, we should do, I should also do excluding. Yeah, here we go. And then if Okay, got it. Okay, so we only run the build if it matches the path. I'm probably, I wonder if it should go here. Nah, if you make a new file, it should do it. But I probably, yeah, okay. Yeah, see, we want to exclude, like, we don't want to include Git and things like that, so. Okay, great. Valid regex, parsing missing argument to repetition operator, got it. Oh yeah, it's a regex, you have to do that. Okay, so I change the Go file. Huh. Seems to think it needs to do that for everything. Alright, so it's running in a huge loop. Okay. Let's do this instead of this. I think I had to do like a timeout. Yeah. I think I have to do like it only runs it because you get a ton of events whenever something changes. Yeah, it seems to be running build all the time. Yeah, so see how main dot go? Oh, I know also, hold up. Yeah, you have to do, you have to do that. Hey, Fallon, how you doing? Okay, so we got to get it so it only runs the build like once. I should probably... Yeah, see, you get a bunch, because Vim is really weird, it like writes the file multiple times and creates a whole bunch of other files. Okay, so this is totally wrong. It shouldn't be matching this. Yeah, it shouldn't be matching that. Okay. Alright, I gotta go look at that. Matches path has to be wrong. Alright, everyone, we got an advertising starting in a few seconds. I need to take a short little break. So it's 3 minutes of ads. And yeah, so my goal today is to get like, get it to actually run my builds and kind of play the game. And then, yeah, we can look at working, making a TUI for it. Okay, I'll be right back. C++, no, today is Go. We're doing Go. And I should probably compile that regex. Yeah, maybe we'll do that in a second. Okay, so... It's like... matches path. Settings includes. It contains function. Yeah, real simple. Let's just make sure that's actually correct. Let's do this. All right. I suspect I don't know how this regex package works. I think it's doing more than I want. It's like a Bob Ross with coding. Yeah, that's kind of the theme. I'm also a painter too, so that's probably why it's like that. Happy little bugs. Yeah, this is Vim. It does this a lot where like... Okay, so we have to only look at right. Yeah, so that doesn't match. Good. It is correct. Now we need to sort of like queue them all up and then only do that. Okay. So I'm not going insane. Right, got that. So probably not on create events. I think this is going to be incorrect. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so it's only when you write. Okay, let's try that. Christmas this year? Yeah, it's good. Real simple. I just went to went to get some Chinese food from a buffet and watched movies, hung out. Real easy. Let's see, maybe do time windowing. Yeah, something like that. And in the other one, I had like a little state machine that helped keep things straight. So I might see if I could do something similar. Okay. Okay, cool. Run build. Yeah, okay, so that's all we need, if you're right. I suppose write or create. Let's do this. You know, we could hash the files. Or, actually, let's like mod time. Oh no, we can't do create. Yeah, cause see how, Vim, like, Vim is so weird, man. It writes to a file, then moves it to the target. Which I'm not quite sure why it does that. I know there was some weird reason that made it more reliable, but okay, so we can't do it on create events. Yeah, so it does pick up the new files. Okay, yep. So we can't even do create events. Pretty much just write. That's it. Okay, so now let's bring back run build. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. Okay, so we have that. Now, if I alter this, it at least shouldn't run infinitely. Okay, cool. Aha, that's why it keeps running. Because I literally wrote code to make it do that. Okay, problem solved there. Alright, so we have exec command. Yeah, we grab this standard input and output. Okay, and this will be where we inject the regex for error lines. Did I not compile? Okay, I gotta find that. Okay, launch process. Where the hell is this message coming from? Is that like a go thing? I've never seen that. Am I going insane? I swear I didn't run into that. That must be from this event library. Okay, so this event goes. Let's just get rid of this real quick. Yeah, that must be from that watching thing. What the hell is going on? Am I editing the wrong file? Let me change the command. I think my tester is... It's supposed to only run twice. Oh, it's from here. Duh. I wrote this crap a while ago. Okay, that makes way more sense. All right, I'm spawning a certain number of workers. They run. Okay. What is this for? Yeah, this weight group is really weird. Okay, so that's why it does a whole bunch of weird shit. Yeah, throw that in. It'll stop after a bit. Okay. There we go. Hey, Comrade Soul, how you doing? Octolypical, I've started to hate exceptions in C++. Yeah, I think I don't use them too much. They're useful in a couple of really good situations. But yeah, I haven't really sat down and like tried to work them. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Okay, let's double check. Okay, cool. And then let's get rid of do this. Let's make this a bit easier to understand. Okay, and then my original runner code has a problem. There, okay. That's good. Due to out of range exception. Out of range, so you were like accessing some kind of list. Okay, that does that. Okay, cool, that does that. All right, and then we have a problem with our Go routines here. All right, so then when it exits, it looks like interesting. Okay, so that makes way more sense. It's doing a fake build. All right, cool. And if I do that, interesting. Why would that be? Oh well, that's fine. I intend on doing that anyway. Okay. It's related to taking input from a user, somehow using string class. Thing was, the string was too short. So you had to append blank spaces to the input. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know, there's nothing wrong with like just... you don't have to accept all of the input. In fact, it's better if you are ruthless about how much you can take. So next time, just allocate a buffer. Say, this only accepts 256 bytes. And then if someone types more than that, go just abort. Say, nope, can't go over 256. Because almost always that's better than just like letting somebody feed you 20 gigabytes of stuff until you crash the whole computer, right? So you pre-allocate it and then you check how much they've typed. If it's over that, then done. That's it. But in C++, that's hard though. That's really hard in C++. You have to read a character at a time. There's also sort of weird ways to abort the input. Okay, so we have the basis of it. Okay, and then we don't want to run the build too many times. Okay, so this is where it kind of gets a little hairy, but I gotta think if I want to solve the problem of too many events coming in now, or just get the basic, it runs a build, and sure, maybe it runs it too many times. No, I really think it should. We can do a quick little thing. I mean, I could do like a little locking primitive here. Maybe the build runner is just it's a go routine. You send it a message, and while it's building, it just ignores the messages. Couple of possibilities. Yeah, I don't know the semantics of doing that, but here. Probably a quick and dirty thing. You know me, I like quick and dirty. Let's see, we're gonna do config. Then we can do oh no, this is wrong. Let me think. Yeah, like that. But I need to sit down and educate myself on the ways of Go routines. Cause yeah, I could also see there's just a single Go routine that just sits there and you send it an event and then it runs. But I think this will ignore repeated events. Now the downside is if your build is quicker than all the end of the events. Yeah, so I think you have to have like a time window. But this will work for now. Okay. I see random pyro. If I had to pick one, would I rather use C++ on your current setup or run it on Windows 2098 machine? I would never run a Windows 2000. Why would I run Windows 2000? No, that's terrible. Windows 2000 is awful. Oh, and then okay, kind of dumb. There's definitely better ways to do this. I'm also not sure how Go routines work when it comes to like all of them accessing RAM at the same time. Yeah, we're gonna need like some kind of like locking or something like that. Probably like a state machine inside a Go routine would work. But anyways, this will get us something. Okay, so let's add in yeah, let's get that going. Okay, this will get us enough to kind of get like a first version going. Now, in terms of the game, this brings up like a... Yeah, so you could run a build and then really quickly edit a bunch of files before the build is done. So it'll have to become a little more sophisticated. Probably something like maybe hashing the file. So probably something like here. Something. But okay, so that gets the basic one working. Yeah, and then maybe a little state machine. Yeah, I think it's gonna be better to do like the build thing is just a state machine. I mean, just a little go routine. Just runs in a forever loop waiting on a channel. Right? And then when it receives events, there'll be a state machine that determines build, eat the event, so on and so forth. And then that'd be where we could implement. Like if you receive a certain number of events within a time. Let's see, octoleptical. If I have to work on a project or something, it's too much fun. But when asked to do something under a bit of pressure, that's when things go wrong for me mentally. Well, you need to practice that, man. You definitely should practice stuff like that. And stupidly, you need to practice writing code on a whiteboard. Just because there's a bunch of dumb companies that think that proves you can code. And I can I wonder. Let me just confirm what launch processes does. And then I could probably... Yeah, maybe a little sleep there would kind of give a... Yeah, something like that. Okay. Am I using sleep already? No. I have time? I believe it's time.sleep. Let's go look that up real quick. Actually, let's do this. Oh shit, how do I install package site? Fuck it, I'll figure it out later. Oh, this weird ass shit. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. All right, let's throw in like a short. Yeah, that's actually probably decent. So that'll be similar to creating like a window of time where we eat events. So that way, if this is very fast, well, let's say your build is really quick, it'll still hang out for about 100 milliseconds. You know, let's say just for a second. Yeah, something like that. Okay, I think that'll do. Misspell? Yeah, don't worry. I misspell everything. That's why I made this game. It forces me to pay attention instead of relying on the compiler. Okay. Okay, so now let's try it. Let me see if we can do make. That'll be the real test. I didn't get an error, so okay. Yeah, it looks like it made it. Here's that. Okay, so let's do, let's include an error. Oh yeah, this weird shit. Oh, I forgot about that. I think make creates these weird files. Yeah, I'm gonna need an ignore list. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need an ignore list. Yeah, because I think these aren't around for very long. Okay, right. Okay, where's the output though? Hold up. Okay, so it is running. It just doesn't seem like I get any output. Okay. Okay, let's look at the run build. Is this just not running? Now I gotta make sure that I understand. Okay, so yeah, launch process. Hold on. Make sure I know how the process exits, and then I'll see if I can wait on it. So I guess that defer just never runs? What? Why is that? Alright, I'm going to have to go use the actual locking things, I guess. Starting make. Alright, hold on. Yeah. Why? Oh, that's really stupid, man. That's really, really stupid. So this just doesn't run? Fucking dumb. Well, let's do this. Get some logging there. Yeah, there's some like stupid ass like, oh, if a defer runs inside this, then it doesn't modify that. Like, right. Where's this? The fuck is going on here? Where is this? Oh. Am I going insane? Why is this not printing out? Where is this? I must be missing something to... Wait, but this should print. Yeah, it waits on itself. Let me just double check. Yeah, it should wait right there. Yeah, I'm almost positive something weird's going on. All right, I think that's what we need to do. Oh, the fuck is going on, man? You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. This is so stupid. That thing just doesn't exit? So basically it's just running forever? Ah, such garbage. Alright, let's go see why. Wait, but it should exit. Alright. Yeah, it never exits. Alright, we gotta find out why. There's probably some stupid semantics involved with running a process. And let's do this. So that defer is probably fine, if that's the case. Let's go back up here. It's most likely that launch process doesn't exit. Let's go look at what it's doing. Actually, the command, launch a logger, launch a logger. The logger is also not properly logging. Yeah, that creates a IO logger. We should be seeing that. It doesn't get that. Starts the command and then waits. I don't even think I see this. Or this. Huh. It's kind of jank. Let's see, create. Yeah, I gotta skip those. Build skipped. Got it. Yeah, waiting for make. There it is. Sending ready on channel. Okay, that's some fucking bullshit, dude. Yeah, so basically this, it gets to here and just never actually exits. You never see this. Let's just turbo check. So that exec command wait doesn't do what I think it does. I think I ran into a few issues with their weird ass exec command. Or like things that you'd think would normally, like in every other command execution system, it would actually wait and then exit, and then no, on this you have to do like a whole other thing. Okay, so that proc ready, I imagine I probably copied it over. It's waiting for something else. Okay, so we just gotta get rid of that. Why was I doing that? There was a reason I did it in my other program. Let's confirm. It's probably that. Yeah, I don't see any of this. There we go. All right. Was there a reason to do that? In my other thing, there was a reason to do that. Why did I do that? Okay, I'm going to do it with this, okay. I think that was an Ozai. Yeah, yeah, I think I had a different setup. Yeah, okay, that's what it is. So I brought this code over that had this setup. So instead of doing... Yeah, so I can probably just get rid of this. Okay, we're going to get rid of that. And then it should wait. Maybe we'll do, see if we can do like a long command. Okay, and I'm actually gonna change config settings. Let's just get rid of this. All right. I mean, actually, I wonder if my, I wonder if this actually never exits. That's the difference. Interesting. So in my other program, I have ready. I launch the process. And then I wait for ready. Okay, I might have to revisit that and confirm that actually does what I think it does. But that's the main difference. Okay. So I don't need that for this. Okay, so now it should be running. Then what we're going to have to do is get the output. Let's make a build error. Yes, we have the errors. Okay, good. See, now we need to use the regex to parse these. So then we need that, but it's running. Okay, so now nice. Okay, so it is building itself. Okay, so now this is the next part. The logger, that'll be what needs to process the regex for error messages. And I had to work that regex out already. Okay, so let's take a look. The fuck is up with Git, man? It's a regex, so I gotta do this. If you don't do something crazy like this, it takes any mention of that in the path. I'm fucking ignoring this. Yeah, on Windows, if you do this, it doesn't work. That's so stupid. Oh, it's so fucking stupid. Okay. You have to do this. Oh, that's dumb. Well, no, actually. No, yeah, that's gonna run into problems. So basically, see how I have tester here? On Windows, that was getting ignored because I put tester here. And I couldn't understand why it was doing that. Then on Linux, I have to do that. God, that's fucking dumb. All right, anyway. Okay, we got that. That works. So now the next thing is reading the regex. Then working up the stats. So like what your hit points and stuff like that are. And then I also, the next thing I want to do in this is storing data. Yeah, and then working on like, I guess a TUI of some kind. Okay, I had that regex sorted out in the other one. Oh my god, man. I'm never gonna find that. Okay, let me look around. It's in here somewhere. Builder, maybe? This, okay. Don't you guys love regex? Regex is the best. You don't understand. Okay. All right, so now this might not be the same because if I remember right, I forget if they use the same engine or not. So I remember I had to add the new line on this because it's not actually the same. Set of errors. Let's call this out patterns. Triggers. Yeah, let's do triggers. Okay. Now I have to figure out how to get the match locations. I also have to make sure that's actually gonna catch the error. But that should be fine. Okay, that'll give us a start. Let me see. Could I do like regex? Could I do that? Would it convert it for me? I doubt it. I really doubt it. Yeah. It'd be great if you could. Let me look at the regex library. Hold up. What's the type? Regex. Yeah, you have to compile it. And then we have to get okay, let's make that change now. Yeah, let's do must compile. Okay, we're gonna go triggers includes processes. Then this is our own internal stuff. This is going to be right. I think that's it. And then we'll compile those ahead of time. I'll make it a bit easier to work with. That's it. Regexp and the regexp. It was very important they include the P that nobody else has. How do you read regex? Nobody actually writes a regex like straight. You always build it in pieces. But it's just a language. Each character has like a different meaning. And you don't read it linearly. You have to like go ahead and read chunks. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, I'm going to compile the triggers and the includes so that they're pre-compiled so you get an error right away. Then we'll process the lines that are coming out. That'll give us events, and then we can start working on the stats, like your hit points and stuff like that. I gotta stop like kind of around 1 p.m. But I think we can get this working. Regular expressions. Let me see. You have to learn C++, but you're still learning Lua. Remember, you don't have to learn all of C++. You just have to learn a little bit. Also, every place that says learn C++ has their own weirdo part of C++ they think you should learn. So. Okay. Regex. Okay. So let's say you have this thing here, right? You don't just like read it, right? Because it's like a ton of stuff. And the issue is that each of these characters is a whole word. And this is something that I think a lot of like professional programmers and beginners don't get. They don't get well, I mean, if you do math, it comes up, right? The individual symbols. I think even in math, all the symbols are supposed to have no meaning, but they totally do, right? And then it's sort of this weird thing that people who teach math don't give you the names of these symbols, which is bullshit because it is a language and they do have meaning and they do have names, right? But think about it like math. There's these individual symbols, and you know, in the same way that if I was going to do this, let's say I write 2. I write that. How do you read that? You go 2 times 2, right? Right? You don't expect people to go the number 2 multiplied by the number 2. You don't expect people to write that out, right? Okay, it's the same thing. Regex, for some reason, people go, well, I mean, they should write out every single word. But you learned what 2 was. You learned what multiply was. So now you can write 2 times 2, right? So that's the idea, is that you have to learn the symbols. So if you were to take this, right? Okay, so take this and put it on individual lines. That's how you break down a regex. I'm not sure why I'm doing this manually. There's another way to do it. So I'm going to use this as a comment, but you can actually comment regex. I forget what it is. I think it depends on the format. I'm pretty sure there is one. It depends on which one you're using. Yeah, I think Thoughtbot, they had a good one. Is it just pound? It depends on the engine, but here's a blog post by Thoughtbot. Yeah, so you can do the same thing. All right, so you learn what the symbols mean, right? Boom, 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 boom. Each of these are individual symbols. So you go look at any regex thing, and then you comment it. So start group, any char. You know what we're going to do? We're going to simplify this. I'm not going to do all of them, but I'll show you. Okay, great. Okay, so this one is start group. This one is any character. This one is any number of times. But actually a better way to write that is 0 or more. This one is optional. This one is end group. Okay, so that whole block there, you can even go as far as to indent that. So now that you know what each character is, you then say, okay, well, what does this do? Well, this is taking a group. A group captures that, so you can use it later. It extracts it from that, and it goes any number, any character, any number of them, but optionally. And then this is not regex. So this, you just go colon char. So what that means is this will match anything from the beginning of the line. So if you had error colon, it would match ERR or colon. So any character repeated. So this is any character repeated, but optional. So it would also match just that. Okay, and then this one, again, start a new group. This is set of, so that's how you start a set. Number 0 through 9. End set. And then this means one or more. End group. So we take this group, indent it. Okay, so now the next group, and then colon. So now this is going to match. We've already got that one up there, right? Error. So this is going to match one or more numbers. So let's say it's the line number, and then followed by a colon. So that's how you break it down. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works, right? So then a regular expression engine does this. It goes, okay, it sees E. It says, does that match this part? It's any number of character, good. Any character, any character, any character, any character, colon, matched, cool. Okay, now come in. 1, does that match this? Yes, it does. Okay, one or more numbers, one or more number, one or more, followed by colon, cool. And then it grabs this so you can use it later. So these are match groups. So now this is a pretty complex one, right? But this is how you study a regex, is you break down each character and you figure out what it does. Now, how you write these, nobody writes shit like this. Nobody writes that. What you do is you start up something nice like node. And you go find an error message. Let's say I want to match this. You paste it. Okay. So you get yourself a little node terminal, and then you do R equals. So we want to do A through Z. Any number of A through Z followed by a space, followed by A through Z, followed by a space. Okay, then we do that. Okay, and then we do R match. Or S dot match, yeah, R. No. So then you go and you try this again. You go, okay, actually it should be, and then A through Z. Okay, and then you do match. No. That's what you do. You massage them. It's even easier if you use Vim, right? So you just use search. And then you can say any number of characters followed by this, and Vim will do that for you. So it'll help you sort out what your regex should be, and then you go over to your programming language and put it in and test it that way. Hey Sam, how's it going? So then let's see, dot asterisk. Nope. Wow, Node's REPL is so weird. Compressing objects, colon. Yeah, so this is the process. Like nobody really sits down and like just writes a regex. Like you always build it and kind of like test it and try to get it to work. And I actually don't know why this doesn't work. It's kind of bullshit, to be honest. It's like, hold up. Will you match? Okay, that matches. Yeah, and also I think the other thing that makes regex kind of suck is every engine works a little differently. Like, yeah, so see, I just keep, oh, this REPL is going to piss me off. A through Z plus, actually we can do this. That's what I really should do. There we go. Yeah, that'll be quicker. So we're trying to match compressing. Okay, so now this should give me, I can go here. That gives me my first match. Oh, you don't need the backslashes. I forgot about that. Okay, cool. Yeah, so see now compressing is matched. So when you put parentheses around stuff, it matches and pulls it out. Okay, so now we go \s plus, that still matches. Then we do the next one, A through Z. Any of number of those still matches. Grab that. Now you see compressing objects. So it's selecting out of that, compressing, and that matches this. That's how you make one. Why? Oh, you can. Yeah, no, you totally can. Yeah, that's the point, is that you grab the groups, and then in the result, you can say, give me the 0 from the group or 1. So you get an array of what matched. So it's how you extract text out of regex. And you know, if anyone is trying to get into data science, getting good at regex is how you get into data munging. So data munging is like very necessary in the world of data. Yeah, so see now it's failing. Ah, I need a colon. There we go. So then we can get the percentage. All right, 100. And then comma, any number of space. Now comes the tricky part. So you have to use backslash to escape stuff. Oh, let me go over here. Oh, yeah. Hold on. We have to do that. No, this. Oh, yeah. So then, then you have to double backslash it. Invalid regex. Yeah, see, this gets even worse and worse. Unterminated group. Yeah, so this is where you run into problems. Unexpected token. Yeah, so anyways, it gets tough when you start to have to handle the characters in it. We can sort of like, it's a little bit of cheating. Oh, actually, I know what's up. Okay, hold on. See, it's kind of a fun game. See, we have to do this. We have to get rid of this. We have to backslash that. Okay, cool. And let me go over here. And then you can just do, let's say I don't care about the rest. Well, let's just do it this way. There we go. Okay, so why do you have a problem with any number of spaces? And notice what I'm doing is I'm kind of like building it as I go. So that fails, but oh, I have a comma for the percent. There we go. That's fine. Okay, cool. And then we can match on this number. And there you go. So see here, see how I took the whole string, compressing objects 100% 7 0, and then I can pull out compressing objects 100 7 and 7. So now then you would parse that and you would say match it to things, but there's also ways you can get even crazier where you can say like, you can set this to a name. Each of these groups can be given a name. I don't like it. It's very heinous. This is already really heinous. You see how hard it is? But if you do that, then what you get is you get a hash map instead. So you get like whatever you want these to be set to, ready to go. But it's harsh. It's harsh. So this is why if you see a regex like this, it's people do what I just did, where you slowly build it up and you test it on a bunch of input. Very, very rarely are you just like banging out a regex that's really large. And if they're very complex, you do what I did at the beginning, where I'm using the comments and very carefully writing out with the comments. So then if you see a regex like this, all you got to do is just, turn it into individual lines or groups and then go, okay, so this is a group. Okay, I can ignore that. Okay, so this is a set of A through Z. So any character A through Z and a set of that and one or more. You just learn to read those characters and then you got it. So there you go. That's it. It's not hard. And they're very, very, very useful. There's people who hate them. But like, there's nothing that does the same. You would write to do what I just did would take you mountains. You'd have to write switch statements and all sorts of crazy shit to do the same thing. That just like, a single regex like this. And then the other problem with some people want you to write code. Oh, you got a regex, now you have 2 problems. That kind of bullshit. And like, okay, cool, yeah. So explain to me how I'm going to write code to allow people to do their own matching in my program. Like you just can't, right? What are they going to do? Look, I'm going to include in a whole Lua engine so you can like tell me what lines to look at? No, regex is text. I can process the regex and get very fast matching, right? So if you learn how to do regex, you got a hell of a lot of capabilities. LLM is extremely good with regex. I bet. Because it's a very regular, it's a regular language. That's literally what it's called, regular expression. So any of those languages are incredibly easy to generate, incredibly easy to parse. That's why they're so good. Let's see, it gets it in the first go. Really? That's interesting. I would imagine that, yeah, it would actually be extremely good at that. I can totally see like LLMs just being great at it. Okay, so we're going to augment this. Oh, this has to be an array. Oh no, I need to append. Yeah. Oh, that's nasty. Yeah, so we'll pre-compile these so that you get an error, and then I can use them. Okay, let's get this to build. I see Mega Burger. What to choose when you can find cheap RAM? I'm actually not too familiar with like the latest hardware, but I think if you can find cheap RAM, you need to grab it because there's not going to be any cheap RAM pretty soon. All of the companies that make regular or make RAM have decided to go insane and put all their money into AI. They want a piece of that AI pie, and it's going to collapse on them. They're going to be like, shit, we need regular customers. Oh, what am I doing, man? Yeah, I heard, yeah, because Micron is getting rid of Corsair. They're not going to make RAM anymore. So I think Asus has said that they're going to start making RAM. Like for consumer grade RAM, you know, for PC. I'm telling you, man, like if I was a company like Asus or something like that, I would totally do the same thing. They got rid of Crucial, right? Yeah. But then, like, they didn't sell it to anyone. They could have sold it to, like, a couple of companies that want that brand and want to make RAM again. Oh, shit. It's one of those. Alright, so these are pointers. Okay. Huh, weird. Is that actually going to work? Okay, cool. Okay, so we have regex that are pre-compiled. Must compile on each of them. So let's test that out. How can we mess this up? Let's do that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there you go. Error regex missing that. Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. So then this will tell me if that regex is okay. Okay, cool. Okay. Now let's go back to main. Matches path. Okay, so we don't need to do this anymore. We can actually do that. And then, that? I'm just guessing. I actually don't know the API. Match string. Okay. That'll be how we pull out. So we need to pull out the statistics on the lines. The error lines that come out of the compiler. We're going to gather their statistics. So one of the main things I want to add in this version is I'm not sure if I'll put it in like a SQLite database and then you can run your graphs and stats and shit like that on it. Yeah, probably. I could also just, no, putting it in a SQLite database is probably the easiest. I was thinking of CSV, but it's not going to be as good. So what it'll do is it'll keep track of like the day, the time, the project, that kind of stuff in a little database. And then you'll be able to browse like, and do things like, how many errors do I typically make? And where do I make the most errors? It'd be kind of cool to like have like one database and you use it like per project, per language. And so then you can keep track of like which language do you make the most errors in, which project do you make the most errors in, time of day you make the most errors in. Okay, let's confirm that still works. Huh? Hold on. Oh, that's a string. Wait, it's not a string though. Include regex is gonna be different. Oh, this is getting kind of gnarly. Let's bring you down here. Pop this in. Function settings include regex. Oh, it has to be a pointer. Right, now I'm starting to get pissed off. That's a terrible error message, man. That's just terrible. It's so fucking bad. Am I seriously just hand coding a fucking for loop? Alright, let's confirm I know that type. It is a pointer to a regex. Include regex. Function, a pointer to a regex. Does this only work on... Can it not do an array of pointers? Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Fuck it. For loop it is. Trying to do fancy shit. Can't have nice things. Actually, let's just do this. I wonder if that returns nothing. Is that the deal? I bet that's why. I bet this doesn't return an error. I like that better anyways. Yeah, the generics, I mean, they gotta have... I think every language that has generics has just shit messages on the generics. your format on that should be, I expected this, you gave me this, change it to this. That's like universally kind of the format. I expected this, you gave me this, I change it to this. If you do that, you've got way better error messages. Okay, let's give it a shot. Okay, cool. Okay, almost there. All right, I gotta check the time. We got time. Okay, so now we gotta go up here to the logger. Now here's where it gets dicey. I don't know if we're allowed to just use those regex in like a bunch of different output loggers. Yeah, I don't know if you can share those. I'm pretty damn sure you can't. I'm pretty sure you can't share those regex across Go routines. I'm almost positive you can't. All right, we'll give it a shot. This is kind of what we need to do, but now we need to read these two. Ooh, yeah, this is gonna get super duper gnarly. Hey, son. I might not be able to do the painting. I gotta go in like exactly 10 minutes. But I will be back tonight if you're here. I can do the painting then. Yeah, this is super gross. Okay. Oh my god, this is going to be just awful, awful, awful. We need buff IO. This is going to be so bad. New scanner M. For scan. I'm doing this totally off the top of my head. I mean, do I need this then? I don't need this, I don't think. Yeah, let's get rid of that. I think that's right. We'll see. Yeah, anyway, son, thanks for the painting request, but let's do it later. I'll show you the painting, though, so you kind of have an idea what we work on. But let me give you those points back, and then make it really quick. So, someone requested that I work on a painting. So what I do is, I'll show you. I've always got some kind of painting I paint on stream and do it in little 10-minute increments. It takes 10 minutes for this program to start. But other than that. Hello, okay. So we're working on the green bottle. So this is a painting we're working on. Kind of about, I'd say 40% of the way. And basically I do it in 10-minute chunks, and I try to get to as close as realistic as I can, or as close to like kind of what I was shooting for. Yeah, so that's what we'll work on. Right now, I want to get back to this. Okay. Okay, so let's do that. Let's look for... And then, let me do this. Just so we can see it. Okay, cool. We got our output. Right. So now the next thing is... Yeah, okay, cool. That's working. So then we just go... Everybody's favorite double fours. I think I gotta capture the text. Okay. Okay, so then we just process each line. Oh, hell if I did that. Cannot use... Oh. It's already useful. It just keeps running it. Okay. So now that builds just fine. And we get errors. Nice. Okay. It's detecting errors. I do this. Yep. So see, we got error messages, syntax error, syntax error. Okay. So now I can get the match groups. And we got it. Okay. How do we get the groups? How do we get the groups? Oh, we can do match reader. No, but that's, yeah. Yeah, that's not going to work. What is Marshall? Yeah, how do you get the regex groups? Oh, what a strange API. What? Append text? Yeah, and I wonder if I need a copy. String sub-expression index. Sub-expression names. Find submatch. I'm not sure. I think that's what we want. Find string submatch. So that's the match and then the subs. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay. It's kind of odd. Why would you do it that way? I'm assuming that'll work. Yeah, okay. There it is. Let's do this. Yeah, cool. Okay, so if we look, actually, I'm going to do this. It's kind of making me annoyed. Yeah, okay, so this is the... Why didn't I quote the strings? It's really fucking annoying. Alright, so expected main there. Ah. Yeah, it is pulling them out. There you go. Main, this. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Let's do this. Yeah, air type, line column equals matches 1, matches 2, matches 3. Is it getting the rest? Yeah, and then error. One, two, three. Yeah. Kind of heinous, but that'll work fine. That'll get us something to work with. Okay. Oh, yeah. Hold up. Gotta do this. All right. What the fuck is that? Oh, okay. I see what it's doing. Okay, I think that's basically working. Yeah, so it runs the build. And then the type. So no, that's file. That's file name. Okay. Syntax error. Okay, we need a \n. Okay, so it's file, line, error. I thought I also grabbed, hold on. I'll print out the whole line as well. Take a look at that. Okay, cool. We'll do this. Oh, so that's the type. Okay, interesting. I'm just not gathering that. Oh, no, okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, okay. I need one more. Got it. Okay, that's nice. Okay, get rid of this. That's super gross. But whatever. That's our type. And then text. There you go. Okay, file, line, column, error type, error text. Cool, and with that, you can gather a lot of statistics. So I can do other things like grab the extension and determine what language it is, like all kinds of stuff. Yeah, nice. So that's the file, that's the line, that's the column, that's the syntax error, is the type. Nice. And then the full text. Okay, that's pretty much it. That's the basis of it. And then it works again. Okay. All right, let me snooze this ad, commit. We got a working prototype going. Yeah, it took me a lot longer to get the same thing to work. Now, there is some interactions with Git that I'd like to explore, but I'm not sure how to do it. Because I could also make it only work on things that are in your Git, but I feel like that's kind of unnecessary. If you have a regex, then you can just do it that way. All right, folks, that code is in the repository. If you'd like to check it out, take a look. All right, let me switch back to Windows. We just need to confirm it works here. All right. And if I break that, God damn, that's slow. Yeah, it works. There we go. Yeah, check it out. That's nice, man. I'm telling you, man, Go is the best. It just like works. It works on Windows. Done. Okay, so we'll have to probably slashify, normalize that. We got the line numbers. Awesome. Okay. It works. All right, folks, as I mentioned before, I got a jet